Not many people think about Montenegro as a country where they can possibly retire, although it's a popular destination. It's small in size and has a convenient location to discover the entire Balkan Peninsula. It's a destination for those looking for sunny skies and a slower pace of life. Would Montenegro be your retirement destination? Hello everyone, this is Ronan Blue, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. This channel is all about how my girlfriend and I achieved financial independence and debt freedom 2 years back since paying off our mortgage. With my newfound freedom, I talk about how we made it happen, the types of passive income we have that anyone could implement, our thoughts of early retirement overseas, personal thoughts, and general financial issues. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our weekly content full of information helping you get to financial independence yourself. Today's topic is on the 8 best reasons to retire to Montenegro. Just as a disclaimer, the information provided is a general guide and to be used for educational purposes only. Gorgeous beaches, beautiful mountains, and historic towns draws people here every year. There's also active pursuits from mountain biking to whitewater rafting, even skiing. Let's check out more points coming now. Number 1. Culture in Montenegro. Montenegro's culture is fascinating, diverse, and unique. It borders Bosnia, Serbia, and Kosovo, and the country is smaller than Connecticut and home of only about 650,000 people. The history and culture dates as far back as the beginning of ancient Greece. Their past is marked by invasions, conflict, wars, and even more wars. Its diverse culture is based on its geographic location, diversity of ethnicities, and its troubled history with its neighbors. Montenegrins are tough. For centuries, the tiny mountain nation battled much larger armies who came to conquer it. They resisted the Ottoman Empire for hundreds of years, surviving long after its neighbors fell. Its national identity is built on this desire for independence. Montenegro is one of the youngest countries in the world and got independence from Serbia in 2006. As its outcome is related to the Yugoslavian dissolution. It was a peaceful agreement. Their modern culture are very protective and proud of their visual arts, as well as their drama and music. The country has produced a number of artists known worldwide. They're also very passionate when it comes to celebrations to preserve and protect the ancient customs, legends, music, and dance forms of the land. Family is everything as well. Ancestry and lineage are very important, and no word is as iron as that of the oldest living member of the family. The Montenegrins have a very relaxed attitude towards life as well, choosing to relax first and deal with whatever needs to be done at a later date. Number 2. Places to live in Montenegro. Budva. Budva is a very old town on Montenegro's Adriatic coast. You'll see the old town with resort development along the beaches. It allows for a charming experience. It's one of the loudest and most crowded towns at the Montenegrin coast during the summer, however. Budva also has an island opposite of the city with beautiful beaches, ice-cold refreshments, and seafood specialties. Kotor. Kotor is a tiny city that is over 2,000 years old. It's between the mountains and the sea. Up front is deep, clean blue water. At the back are mountains littered with walled fortifications mixed up with ruins from the early Middle Ages. It's full of dramatic sites of the modern age mixed with the medieval churches, cathedrals, palaces, and pillars. There are modern cafes, sounds of live music, cobblestone alleys with cats walking around. It's remarkably beautiful, a comfortable and confident blend of the old with the new. It's also listed as a UNESCO listed old town, and you'll see occasional cruise ships come in to sea. Savina. This is a quiet and tiny town, surrounded by green forests and mountains. There are monasteries that date back to the 15th century. You'll see the blue waters of the bay, as well as dramatic mountainsides topped with snow. It's also famous for wine lovers, and you can spend your time walking through the landscape gardens overlooking the water. It's very close to other larger surrounding cities as well. Number 3. Food in Montenegro. Burak. This is a common pastry in Montenegro, the rest of the Balkans, and Turkey. It's a layered pastry that usually is filled with cheese, but also with spinach and minced meat. It's usually a breakfast meal, but it could be eaten as a snack as well, especially late at night. You'll find them in restaurants or in bakeries, where several other pastries can also be found. Calamari Salad. Calamari is one of the most common foods in Montenegro, and you will find it on every menu in several forms, especially by the coast. They're mostly commonly fried or grilled, but can be both a starter or a main, served hot or cold in salad. No matter how they are always delicious, tender, and flavorful. Buzara. This would be with shellfish, prawns, and shrimps that are cooked in either a red or white sauce. The red sauce is made with red wine, onions, tomatoes, herbs, and spices. The white sauce is considered an art form and is made with white wine. It's a great way to gather a large group of people over a huge feast. Number 4. Things to do in Montenegro. Tara River rafting. This is a popular activity in Montenegro. You can go through the mountains of northern Montenegro, Tara River, known as the Tear of Europe, as the deepest canyon in Europe. Actually one of the deepest in the world, and people from around the world come to see it. It has crystal clear waters in the most beautiful shades of blue. It offers the most unique rafting experience one could hope for. Durmitor hiking. In Durmitor National Park, it has great places for trekking, hiking, climbing, and rafting. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has 18 glacier lakes, dense forests, amazing fauna and flora, and incredible mountain peaks. Skiing. Now there are 120 days of snow a year, and Montenegro is known for its winter sports just during the colder months. There are 20 kilometers of slopes and many ski resorts as well. Number 5. Cost of living in Montenegro. Montenegro is seen by many as one of the most affordable countries in Europe. Although it does use the euro, it's not an EU member. If you choose to rent in Montenegro, this expense will vary widely depending on where you find a place and how many bedrooms it has. But there is also a high season and low season. June to the end of September are when rent prices rise. Restaurants, cafes, and street food stalls raise prices during the high tourist season. Grocery stores also set up special prices for tourists only. You'll find products in stores around the country that have blue, red, and orange price tags. Blue for locals only, red for tourists, and orange price tags for everyone. A meal at an inexpensive restaurant would be $7, between $5 and $11 USD. A meal for 2 people at a mid-range restaurant for a 3-course meal would be $28, between $22 and $44 USD. Basic utilities for an apartment would be $105, between $66 and $190 USD per month. It's cheaper in the summer and more expensive in the winter. The internet would be $25, between $17 and $37 per month. As mentioned previously, prices will vary dependent on the tourist season. An apartment for a 1-bedroom in city center would be $400, between $300 and $450 USD per month. An apartment 1-bedroom outside of city center would be $300, between $250 and $300 USD per month. An apartment 3 bedrooms in city center would be $700, between $650 and $850 USD per month. An apartment 3 bedrooms outside the city center would be $533, between $450 and $600 USD per month. The VAT or value added tax is 21%, but VAT on tourism is lower at 7%. But keep in mind as well that a foreign resident in Montenegro pays income tax only on the income he has earned in Montenegro, while a permanent resident of Montenegro is required to pay tax on both the income he has earned in Montenegro and overseas. But overall, the cost of living in Montenegro is considerably lower than that of North America and Western Europe. Number 6. Buy property in Montenegro. In recent years, there have been new luxury tourism complexes in various stages of development being developed along the coast and nearby boating and yachting facilities. There are no legal restrictions on foreigners buying property in Montenegro, but foreigners can only buy land through a company. A foreigner who owns real estate in the territory of Montenegro is able to obtain a temporary Montenegrin residence permit, provided the property is an apartment, house, condo, villa, hotel, or restaurant. There seems to be no limitations in relation to the value or size of the property. You'll become a tax resident and the permit is issued for 1 year, but could be extended. It provides access to a low tax jurisdiction. There are a number of documents to submit, too many points to cover here, but publicly available information. They say that Montenegro's real estate is more affordable than neighboring Croatia, yet equally as spectacular. They both offer beaches of the Adriatic Sea, the mountains, and the history that goes pre-Roman. But Montenegro is a fraction of the price, and real estate here is hugely undervalued. With the cheap cost of living, Montenegro has even become a favorite base for digital nomads that live like mini retired people in Montenegro. With a year-on-year increase of 18% in tourist numbers, you'll also have opportunity to rent your place out when you're not using it. But there are lots of pitfalls you need to be aware of as well before you buy. Do your own research and you'll definitely need a local professional by your side. Number 7. Healthcare in Montenegro. As an expat, you can't receive free public healthcare. Public healthcare services will be provided for citizens and their dependents if they pay for the Health Insurance Fund, HIF. The HIF is a system that tries to ensure that contributions are made by employers and by citizens who are employed. Expats have mentioned that the best path to follow for getting good healthcare would be in getting private healthcare. The plans could range but are known to be around $350 a year if arranged in the country. But most do use international coverage, which is much more expensive and varies. But most expats still do choose to pay as they go because a doctor's visit might only cost $28 and most medicines can be had for under $11. The public healthcare facilities in Montenegro don't meet the international standard. There are, however, many well-trained doctors and physicians practicing in Montenegro, but facilities and supplies are limited. Most prescription medicine is available, but the quality may vary. If there are any emergencies, it's best to evacuate to a better equipped country which international coverage provides. There are a few good private hospitals expats use. Most expats have an international medical insurance coverage that covers treatment abroad. Doctors' visits, blood tests, and medication are relatively cheap and accessible, even in private hospitals, as is dentistry. Number 8. How to live in Montenegro. Before the independence from Serbia in 2006, Montenegro had always been a hotspot for retirees from all over Europe. Getting a residence permit in Montenegro for some is easy and inexpensive. Since Montenegro is not in the EU, it's easy to get a permit to live in Montenegro regardless of your citizenship. If you plan to retire to Montenegro as an American, there are 2 easy ways in doing so. Buying a home is probably the easiest route to temporary residence permit, and the other is by opening a company in Montenegro. Both ways will create grounds for you to apply for a residence permit in the country. The option of buying a Montenegrin passport through the Citizenship by Investment program is also open to high net worth retirees. US citizens can visit the country for up to 90 days without a visa. Moving there permanently is another matter though. There are a few ways to get permanent residency in Montenegro. If you work for a company in Montenegro, you can be able to get a permanent residence or temporary work residence permit. If you're studying in Montenegro, you'll be able to get a student residential permit to live in the country. If you marry an individual from Montenegro, you will be allowed to live in the country permanently. Purchasing property. As mentioned before, you may be permitted to apply for residency this way. There are some who just leave the country every 3 months, 90 days, and return in order to refresh their visa and stay legally for another 90 days. It's definitely not a permanent solution, and you can't do this if you wish to legally work in Montenegro, send your children to school, and so on. You can always work with an experienced immigration attorney in order to obtain a permit for living in Montenegro. Becoming an expat is easy for some, but not easy for others, so think long and hard about whether Montenegro is right for you. So let's talk more about points about Montenegro, starting with the pros. Montenegro has a low crime rate. Violent crime in particular is relatively low compared to other countries, but it's safe to live in Montenegro. But use common sense and exercise caution at night and in crowded tourist areas. The weather is generally very pleasant in Montenegro, even during the rainy but mild winters. Some flooding may occur. Another point is that there's only a flat 9% tax on earnings and apparently no hidden surprises in the form of capital gains, land transfers, or estate taxes. Montenegro's physical geography is also a selling feature. It's in close proximity between ocean beaches and the mountains. A low corporate and personal income tax rate is attractive, and of course a low cost of living in Montenegro. There are some cons, however. Organized crime and corruption are quite high level, but are unlikely to affect an expat on a day-to-day basis. Montenegrin is also a difficult language to learn. And also because of the size and population of the country, Montenegro's healthcare system lags behind other countries. Because of the small taxpayer base and economy, many travel to Croatia and Serbia for better procedures. Montenegro declared its peaceful independence from Serbia only a little over a decade ago, but has not fully recovered from the life-altering war as Yugoslavia split apart. So there is some uncertainty of how future governments will see them to be a disadvantage for expats in Montenegro. There's also a bit of friction between Montenegrins and foreigners in the richer parts of Budva or Kotor. Expats tend to clutter together in their communities. But as an expat in Montenegro, you can easily build your life around a combination of outdoor pursuits and location-free work. It's both a ski and beach destination as well. If you're a highly qualified foreign worker and are self-employed, this is known to be a great lifestyle. There's a low capital gains tax, competitively priced real estate, and even some agreements that allow retirees to keep some or all of their health and pension benefits from their home country. And of course, a very low cost of living. In the larger cities in Montenegro, many people speak English, but it's not the case in smaller cities and rural areas unless you speak the language, which is hard to speak. But whether you're planning on renting or staying in Montenegro temporarily or putting down roots by buying real estate to obtain a residency permit, you'll likely be able to get a great deal compared to the rest of Europe and the Americas. Well, tell me what you think of retiring in Montenegro in the comment section below. If you like this vlog, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell for more of my coming content here. Thank you for watching my vlog. I hope you have a great day and see you soon.